The giant humanoid robots, industrial AI systems, and heavy autonomy headlines had already dominated the first 2 days. Those statements were made. Day 3 was different. This was the day CES stopped flexing and started sneaking technology into real life. This is where AI, sensors, batteries, and strange form factors quietly slipped into objects people actually use. Some of it felt practical, some of it felt unsettling, some of it felt like early category testing, but almost everything you saw on day 3 felt like it could realistically ship. One of the strangest products to get real attention was something called Lollipop Star. At first, it sounds like a joke, a lollipop that plays music while you eat it. But the tech behind it is very real. It uses bone conduction, sending vibrations through your teeth and jaw instead of your ears. As you bite down, your inner ear picks up the sound through your skull. Each flavor is paired with specific licensed music tracks. It's cheap, playful, and very CES, but it also shows how bone conduction keeps creeping into places no one expected. Sensory tech is no longer waiting for headphones or wearables. It's attaching itself to anything it can. Health tech took a sharper turn with the Y brush. On the surface, it's a fast toothbrush you bite down and it cleans your teeth in about 20 seconds. But the real story is breath analysis. Sensors near the nasal cavity analyze compounds in your breath that correlate with gum health, metabolic markers, and other signals. The company was careful with its wording. This isn't diagnosis, it's pattern detection over time. But the implication is clear. Lab-grade sensing is shrinking fast enough to live inside everyday objects that changes how health monitoring enters people's lives. Mental health tech showed up in classic CES fashion with Thodian from Touchpoint Solution. These are small clip-on devices worn on opposite sides of the body. When triggered by stress signals, they vibrate in alternating patterns. On their own, they're simple. Paired with a wearable like an Apple Watch or Fitbit, they become automatic activating when heart rate or stress indicators spike. The vibration pattern is based on bilateral alternating tactile stimulation, a technique studied for calming the nervous system. What's interesting isn't just the science, it's how clinical therapy concepts are being quietly translated into consumer hardware. Even when the form factor looks deceptively simple, wearable biometrics continued with Ring-Con's third-generation smart ring, which made waves by adding blood pressure monitoring. That's rare in rings because blood pressure typically requires calibration and stable positioning. Ring-Con solves this by measuring during sleep and requiring initial calibration with a traditional cuff. From a medical standpoint, nighttime blood pressure trends can be more predictive than daytime readings. The fact that this works inside a ring shows how far optical sensors and signal processing have advanced. Dexcom stayed in the spotlight but this time through software. The focus was on eye-driven insights for its continuous glucose monitoring platform. Instead of raw charts, the app highlights patterns, correlations, and trends tied to food and activity. Dexcom also leaned hard into integrations, layering glucose data with sleep and movement. Health tech is clearly moving from measurement to interpretation. Day 3 also leaned heavily into creator and productivity tools. One standout was Magic Screen from Intricate. It's a snap-on touchscreen layer for MacBooks that attaches magnetically and connects via USB-C. Once attached, MacOS recognizes touch and stylus input instantly. During demos, latency looked almost iPad level. Even better, it preserves normal MacBook behavior, including sleep detection when the lid closes. Apple has avoided touchscreens on Macs for years, and this solves the problem without deep OS changes. For professional creators, one of the most impressive demos came from OWC and Stratter. Their system enables remote video editing directly from files stored on a distant machine without uploading to the cloud. Files stay local, but editors can drag them straight into timelines and start cutting immediately, even on weak connections. Only the necessary data streams in real time. For global teams, this removes massive friction in collaboration and storage costs. It's invisible tech but incredibly powerful. Display tech stayed experimental but practical. Fryek introduced a voice-controlled e-ink art frame. You tap the frame, speak a prompt, and it generates AI art. The display uses e-ink Spectra 6, meaning full color with battery life measured in years. It looks more like printed art than a screen and quietly reframes how AI visuals enter homes. IKEA returned with an updated version of its viral Warmblicks donut lamp, adding smooth color transitions, dimming, and remote control. IKEA continues to embed electronics into objects that still feel like furniture, not gadget sand that's harder than it looks. Audio tech leaned into unusual form factors. Beyerdynamic introduced the MMX300 Pro, focusing on durability and sound quality rather than flashy features. Replaceable parts, studio-grade isolation, and a professional microphone made it feel more like work equipment than gaming gear. TDM showed headphones that physically transform into a portable speaker. Drivers reposition, housing shift, and suddenly one device supports both personal and shared audio. Mechanically complex but solving a real problem. Mobility products filled the floor. Navi's e-Wagon for X is an electric cart designed to haul heavy loads while you ride. Segway introduced the Malian Epic with integrated tracking and subscription-based security. Strut showcased the EV1, a smart mobility chair that blends wheelchair, scooter, and autonomous navigation capable of following users or navigating to destinations on its own. And yes, CES absurdity made its appearance. Rideable luggage returned again. A motorized carry-on you can ride through terminals. Airline rules remain the problem, but the idea refuses to die. Displays closed out the day. A WOL Vision showed a new ultra-short throw laser projector positioned as a full home theater replacement. Micro TVs continued appearing across booths, with Samsung, LG, and Hisense all signaling that self-emissive RGB panels are getting closer to mainstream. Gaming AI stayed software-focused. NVIDIA demoed AI teammates in PUBG that respond to voice commands and adapt tactically. It also showed AI tutorials in strategy games that read game states and explain mechanics dynamically. By the end of day 3, CES didn't feel like a show anymore. It felt like a lab. This was the day where toys gained sensors, furniture gained intelligence, health tech hid inside toothbrushes and rings, and work tools quietly removed friction instead of demanding attention. Nothing screamed for applause, but a lot of it felt like tech that could show up in people's lives within a year. That's the real takeaway from day 3. If you made it this far, tell me which of these actually surprised you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.